Hey, Nav, how's it going?
Hey, yo, bro. Yeah, good man. How are you doing? How are you following the FIFA?
I'm
FIFA.
loving it. I'm loving it. As I said last time, I love uh, watching the highlights of every game essentially, and then watching some of the games. Like today, I watched the Argentina Austria game. That Messier,
Messi.
Messi, not Messier. Messier was a hockey player in Edmonton. That's why. So Messi is just something else. If you watch the goals, you'll see is on he at the beginning of the game he missed a penalty. He was brought down in the box and he got a penalty and he missed it.
He
But
missed it.
his
Wow.
goal was a beauty. And what was even better was the guy who let the guy who was in front of him. He could have easily had a shot, completely selfless. He did a fake. He let the ball go between his legs, and Messi put it away. It was beautiful.
Oh, fantastic. I haven't been able to watch many full games. I did watch, of course, the England Croatia, their first game. And I will be watching their next game too. But the rest of it I've just watched. TSN does a really good job with the highlights, the
Yeah.
10-minute highlights, available on YouTube there. They do a really good job. So, yeah, no, it's good. And as you know, the Vancouver is hosting some of the games. So,
Of course, yeah.
I, I can tell you the city has a buzz about it for
I'm
sure.
sure. I'm sure.
For sure. It's definitely people are out and about. You know, before FIFA, you would not see people wearing random football, soccer jerseys. Just you wouldn't see it. But now I see them, and it's funny. I tell you, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Arsenal are the jerseys that I see the most around
Yeah, yeah,
downtown. Just
yeah.
people wearing all the jerseys. So yeah, definite buzz of the city. So
Speaking of the jerseys, the game today, the Argentina game, it's played at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium
oh,
in Arlington. It's in Arlington, Texas, and almost everybody, was wearing Argentine jerseys because obviously, other than the Austrian fans, but people who don't are not Argentinians, people who came to watch the game, 70, 80,000 people, most of them wearing Argentine jerseys, all
fantastic.
messes, all messes. So. Anyway, I
Great.
think enough today. Maybe whenever you go to some kind of icebreaker, I remember in the old days when I was working in the corporate meetings, they would ask you to share an embarrassing story. So I thought, why don't we do that today? Why don't we share an
So
embarrassing story?
cool.
I will share the one that I always share, but I'll let you share yours first, and then I'll share mine.
You know what? I have a ton of embarrassing moments that's happened to me. So, but the one that I'll remember, the one that really stands out, it it involved somebody else, and that's why it really sticks in my mind. So, I was working in McDonald's back in England. I was working, just regular staff member, and anybody who knows who's worked in McDonald's, you need to hustle. It's not an environment where you just la 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 take your time. You really need to hustle. And so I'll try and describe it the best I can. If anybody listening, you've been to McDonald's, you know. So where the fry station is, in this particular location, there was the fry station on the right, as if you're facing it from a customer point of view. Fry station on the right, gap in the middle, and then the milkshake machine directly in front of it. So I was in the back of the kitchen. They call me up front because there's a rush, so they want me to jump on a register. Back in the day, no ordering on the screens. You actually
Yeah.
had registers for people taking orders. And so I come running up to the front counter, and I'm literally between the fry station and the milkshake machine. And one of the shift managers, Vance, his name was, phenomenally fun guy, really, really fun guy. And he's pulling a milkshake at the machine. And as I've come down to the front counter to turn right to go up to my register, my foot slips
Oh God.
on some oil
Oh no.
from the fry station, because you know what it's like in front of the fry station.
I hated that.
So literally, my left leg goes, I've by the time I realize what's happening, I have no control. I'm going down, and they're yelling timber in in the famous words of the word of the song. And all I can think of is let me grab Vance's leg and maybe I can stay up. But unfortunately, being the weight and body mass that I am, not only I go down, I actually take Vance with me. So both of us just go like sliding down. In my brain, everything happened in slow motion. Like in my brain, everything happened in slow motion. So I go down, he goes down with me. We're fine. We're a little bit giggling about it. Next thing we realize, the handle for the shake machine that he was pouring stayed down.
Oh my
So
goodness.
constantly this flow of strawberry milkshake all over the floor, all over. I had obviously slid further when I went down, but they're all over Vance's head, all over the floor. It was a mess. And then the funny thing was that, I mean, the restaurant was packed. The restaurant was full. And next thing, everybody starts clapping. Like literally everybody like starts clapping and cheering. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, that's one of my. I'll never forget that. I'll never ever forget that one.
That's funny. I can just imagine you flying like, and grabbing his leg and so. Ironically, my embarrassing story also happened at McDonald's.
Oh, that's funny.
So I am, I've mentioned before when we started all of this that I opened the McDonald's in Eastbourne in
Oh
England.
yeah.
That was my store. I opened it. I was the new manager there. And I took a lot of pride in this place. And one of the things I took a lot of pride was the cleanliness of the place and the organization. So I spent a lot of time in the lobby walking around and making sure everything is okay. And in the summer, we used to get a lot of foreign students, second learning English, coming to town. So basically, the population of town doubles in over the summer months. And so obviously, as a result, you get really busy right up until 11 o'clock when we used to close at 11, just completely busy. And every now and again, you will get somebody come to the lobby, some homeless person or something will come to the lobby and go and ask people for money and people
Oh yeah.
food and everything. So one this night it wasn't that busy. I think it was just before the rush starts. Maybe it was around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I see this old lady, what we call them the bag lady. I knew her. She had like one of these shopping carts, always walking around town with all of her stuff in it. And she had parked it outside, and she'd come inside the restaurant and was asking people for food and for money. So I came, I said, "You need to leave." And she didn't resist, very, very calmly. She started walking, and I just put my hand on her elbow, if you like, just sort of guiding her. She's an old lady, two teeth missing in the front, and really, in a bad shape. Very, very thin. I mean, thin as it can be. Anyway, so we come to the door. I open the door and she walks out and she's walking out. I'm just going back so to make sure she's out. And she turns back and he just punches me in the mouth, right smack in my face. I am
No.
so lucky that my teeth didn't break, but it just took me by surprise. I was shocked. And of course, people around there. And then in front of our store, there was a bus station, bus that buses would stop. And that was the place that
Oh
most
yeah.
of the time they would be waiting for about, because it was the start of the bus. So they'll be there waiting. The bus drivers are there. And then these bus drivers come running out of his bus, says, "Hey, if you need a witness, I saw exactly what happened." I said, "What am I going to do? I'm going to go say this old woman punched me in the mouth. What am I going to complain about?" So that was quite an embarrassing moment that I've told this story many a times because really is the most embarrassing. As you said, I've had many embarrassing moments in my life, but this is by far takes the biscuit. So
That's
really,
crazy. I can't believe she actually, like, I've dealt with, when you work in retail, you do deal with these situations many times. But I've never had the situation where someone's actually had like punched me or that's crazy.
yeah, I mean, being sworn at was very normal, especially calling you the Paki and, just racist.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I never took any notice of it, but I think that was just one that was really the most embarrassing. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember the woman's face right the way it was. So, anyways, that was my embarrassing story.
Embarrassing. I remember your restaurant in Eastbourne. I remember it
I was
with the
very
bus
proud of it.
stops outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
still,
definitely remember that.
there are not many things I remember, but I do remember Arndale Center was the shopping center right next to the
Oh,
McDonald's, and that was the first McDonald's in Eastbourne. I don't know if they have any more now, but I'm sure they do. But that was the first, and I was very, very proud of that restaurant. So I was very happy.
I'm very
Anyway,
impressed. I'm very impressed. You remember the name of the shopping center.
oh yeah, yeah, Arndale Center, and the reason I know because that's how world has changed now. You know, nowadays, most of the shops, even in England, are open late till 8, 9 o'clock,
Yes.
whatever it
Yeah.
is. In those days, everything closed at 5. But
Yeah.
they came up with this idea Thursday late night shopping. So
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody would stay, the shopping center would stay open till 8. And people loved it as if everybody waited the whole week to come on a Thursday night to do shopping. And of course, we made a lot of business on Thursday nights because it was very busy. So uh, I would love to go back to Eastbourne just to see I'm sure everything has changed so much. I'd love to go back there and see what it looks like. When I
Did
was in
it? Did it?
Brighton, I remembered something because I also ran the Brighton store for a little while. I
Oh yeah.
run the
Yeah.
Brighton store. It's only 40-minute drive. So and then I was in Brighton. Not this last time, but the previous time. I walked into the McDonald's that I used to manage, and I went, and this little kid, 16-year-old kid, probably wasn't born when I managed it at that time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said, this place, I used to manage this. And I said, do you still have that store back room, which is like this and like that? He's always said, yeah, that's all in there. So it was kind of neat feeling to be able to go and just see some of the things, some of the places that you have been to. So
No, that's cool. That's yeah. No, it's and you lived. I remember the store was in Eastbourne, and you lived in an area called Langley,
that is
right?
correct. That is correct.
Yeah. So and then and I live now. I live close to
To
a
Langley
city called
East.
Langley,
Yeah,
which is
small
quite
world.
fun. Yeah, small world for
Hey,
sure.
Nav, before we go, do you
Yes.
remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe, or maybe 3 weeks ago, you did something at the end, you surprised me, you said you gave me 5 words and you want me to respond to whatever the word was. So I decided to return the favor. So
Oh, no
it
way.
is not kind of the same way as you did it, but I did it a little bit differently. So I'm
Okay.
going to I'm going to say a word or two, maybe. On both of them all 4 of them are one word. The other one is 2 words. But when I say it, I want you to tell whatever comes to your mind next. Okay, very
So
quickly.
you're
I'm
gonna
going to say
tell
a
me
word. You tell me what comes to your mind when I say that word.
first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Sounds
ready?
good.
You ready?
Yeah.
Food.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
That was tough. That was tough.
Next, apple.
Bite.
Favorite city.
Oh, Brisbane, Australia.
Okay. And this one is going to be a tough one. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Okay. And this last one, best job.
Oh, taxi driver.
Okay. Well, that's where you've ended up now, right? Taxi driver in England, and now.
Yeah, like I can't wait to maybe one day we can I can tell you because I used to be a taxi driver before the days of ride shares and Uber and all this stuff. So and then here we are years later and Uber and Lyft is what I'm doing right now. So actually for me there's a lot of differences between the back in the day of taxis and compared to now. So yeah, well, we should
We
definitely
should
one
definitely
day.
do that.
I should tell you about it one day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should. I'm sure you have a lot of stories. I think you can do a comparison of what those days were, what it is today, and then also some stories. I'm sure you have many stories to share. So maybe we will dedicate one episode just to your cabbie stories. Maybe that's what.
Sounds good. That was good. Thank you
All right.
for my little test. Were you expecting any
Well,
specific answers?
when I said food, I thought maybe you would say a food, like whatever food that you like. That's what I thought you
Oh,
would say. And I
there's
thought,
too many. There's too many to say.
that's true. Yeah. So
That's the
we
problem.
both have the same curse of loving food, right? So that's what. Maybe another episode is about food. I have to tell
Yeah.
you all about my one food trip that I did in India with one of my friends. I gotta tell you about another time. So we'll talk about those.
Okay, sounds good. That's awesome.
All right, man. It's good seeing you. Take care. Till
Cheers,
next week.
buddy. Take care. Bye
Bye.
bye.